We're the McCarvers. I'm Mark and this is Megan. We have a son named Maverick who's in first grade. We have a daughter named Molly Claire who's in pre-K. And we have a new addition to our family named Max Judah.
Mark and I got married in 2011 and we felt like we had a really good relationship.
We soon had our first child and we moved to Petal. We looked around Petal and kind of tried to find a church home, but we never really found it. And we actually got invited to the Hunt Club and soon realized that was the place we wanted to be.
We faced so many struggles, whether it was health issues or losing our house to a tornado or work crises, and they always managed to bring us closer together. But around 2020, right when COVID hit, I don't know, our world just kind of started crumbling right in front of our eyes.
I was definitely consumed with my work and, spending a lot of time doing that. And I feel like I had purpose there, but it wasn't purpose for my family. So there was a lot going on there that just wasn't beneficial, for everybody.
We both just grew further and further apart and were making some bad choices and picked up some pretty bad habits and just found ourselves in a really low point in our marriage and in our relationship.
When we hit the lowest point in our lives, I was kind of wanting to fix things with Megan, but I didn't have the ability to fix, the stuff that was really bothering her. So I reached out to everybody I could find. I started reaching out to some of the leadership at Venture, and they poured into me, and then our house church pastor poured into me, and through him, God spoke to me very clearly. I wanted to be right before I came to God, and in that moment, I realized that, I wasn't going to be able to be right, and pretty much the way I came to it was that it was already done. Everything that he had died on the cross for, all I had to do was give it up, and I'm gonna let God take over this life. And at that point, I was spiritually healed, but I was also more broken than I'd ever been as a person in my life.
It was kind of out of nowhere. He went from one extreme to, well, I've been saved and I'm gonna get baptized. And we had been fighting for months, and it was just really hard for me to accept that that was true and lasting. And it didn't take long though for, us to kind of change the habits. And me seeing him change his habits just made me want to fall in line with him and God even more than I ever had.
I think we were sitting at church one Sunday and I grabbed the communication card and I checked every single box. KXP, production, hospitality. At that point, I just wanted to wash feet. I wanted to get in there and do the Lord's work and kind of get away from what my old habits were and start new habits. But it wasn't long before we realized the change it made in our own lives by serving the Lord.
God showed us how to serve one another and how to serve our family better than we ever have. And we replaced bad habits with habits like serving, and that's definitely led us to victory in our marriage and in our family.
Our marriage is taking a whole different course. We get to watch our children grow and they serve with us. Maverick likes to sit in the booth with me and Stephen while we're running sound, and he wants to run graphics one day, but he's not quite to that point yet. He's still a little young. But yeah, I would just say because of Jesus and his restoration, we've been able to take our lives in a whole different direction. We went from just going to church and trying to see what the church could provide for us to walking in every day and really excited to see what we can do for people's lives in the church. We love your neighbor, and we're thankful for all the opportunities that Jesus has given us while we're serving through Venture Church. It's been really special to watch Maverick grow in his faith. Getting a chance to baptize him is probably one of the most special things in our life.
I think Maverick was old enough, when we were in all of our struggles, that he got to see that, and he watched us be hurt, and he got to watch us be healed too. And because of that, he knew that Jesus was his leader too, and that he loved him and wanted to be a member of his kingdom. So I think that had a big part of leading him to the road to salvation.
Had we have not found Jesus, I do believe that our marriage would not have been restored, and our kids would have been pretty much coming from the same broken homes we came from. And our goal right now is to take and break that cycle.
And if it weren't for Jesus and his healing, we wouldn't be here today. We wouldn't be able to share a story with y'all.
We have a peace with Jesus that we haven't had ever, and he's definitely provided for our family and given us the guidance we need. And then having Venture and our house church come into our lives, and they've given us the guidance we need also to weather the storms in certain ways that we just weren't prepared to deal with. You know, we've been able to be a part of the community. We're just doing things that we never would have done in the past had we have not been in this situation. So we're thankful for what Jesus has done in our lives and what Venture Church and our house church has done also.